Hey there, Alistair here, back in the workshop on it's a bit of a blustery, stormy kind of morning here in Perth. September the 1st was the first day of spring, so hopefully some good weather's on its way. We've had a really, really wet winter. Well, I think it's been really wet this year. The country doesn't need the rain, obviously, but I hate the rain during the day, especially with my day job as a truck driver. Like when it's wet, the roads are just horrendous, and I don't mind when you're laying in bed and you can hear the rain on the roof or whatever, and you haven't got to go out, and I don't mind that. Fantastic. So rain during the night, dry during the day, that would suit me. I've got actually there was another thing. It's a shame they've stopped now. There was some kookaburras up. I don't know where they are. We don't normally get them around this way because they normally like big what they call them, gum trees, and we haven't got many big gum trees around this way. They're normally over that sort of far over that way, but this morning they were here, and the sound of them is just such a cool sound. I don't know if you've never heard a kookaburra. You need to Google kookaburra, spelt with a K, K-O-O-K burra. I don't know. I don't know how you spell it, but just have a Google, and you'll hear them, and it's like they're laughing. It's like I don't know, it's almost like a monkey laughing. Fantastic. If I can put a sound effect on this video for a kookaburra, I'll do my best, but I'm not really good at adding sounds and stuff like that. So if I can find something, I'll try and put it on. But yeah, anyway, back to knives. I do tend to do that drifting off thing again. I've got to stop doing it, but back to knives. I have got, what have I got? Three. There's three finished and one sort of halfway through the build. But we'll start off with this one. Now this one here is Bushwood original. This is for Dave in the UK. Now he saw one of my videos, and I think I had a big chunk of the she oak wood that I just managed to pick up. And he sent me a message saying, is it possible to make me a knife with that kind of she oak handle? So it's taken a while. He did message me quite a while ago, and then I went through like a real busy patch through went trucking, and I didn't get much chance. By the time I'd finished my day driving, I was so tired. I just didn't go in the workshop, so I only had like weekends to sort of fiddle around and get bits done. And I always had a lot of knife orders on the go at the same time, so it kind of. But yeah, we're here, Dave. We finally got it done, and I shall be sending, as long as you're happy with it, I shall be getting it posted out to you in the UK. Right, let's have a look at the knife anyway. So we got the leather sheath, veg tan leather. Now I've sprayed this with a tan. What have we got? Tan leather dye with my trusty applicators. If you've not used these, if you're still using the lamb's wool like drumstick kind of things, you're not getting consistent results. You've got to go over to spraying your leather, whether it's with one of these, or I have actually got a little compressor down there, and I've got this old I dug it out from my car spraying days back in the UK, this little mini SATA jet spray gun. So I will be using that as well, right? Because obviously when the canister runs out of gas, then it won't work. So I've got this as backup, and I will be using that as well. So, but if you're still if you're having problems with your leather, not getting consistent sort of coverage or whatever, it's going blotchy, start spraying. These are really good. I don't know what make they are. Prevail. I think they're like German. What's it say on them? Distributed in USA. Made in Germany. Yeah. So it's going to be quality. Glass jar as well, bit of quality there. So use those for spraying your leather. You can't go wrong. As long as you keep them upright. If you tilt them, then they do tend to leak a little bit, and it goes a bit like splattery. But keep them upright, nice. I normally hang the leather up and then kind of just puff it nice and even, and you get that result, which is really nice, like a consistent colour all over, which is what you're after. So anyway, yeah, so veg tan, natural colour thread, and Dave wanted the belt dropper, belt dangler, whatever you like to call it. These are a good idea. Now, in Australia, you're not allowed to carry a belt on your sheath. Carry a belt on your sheath. In Australia, you are not allowed to carry a knife on your belt. So there's quite a lot of restrictions over here as regards to knives and that kind of stuff. I think I'm not exactly 100% sure, but like I don't think fixed blade. I don't think you're allowed to carry a fixed blade. If it's a folding knife, you can. I'm not 100% up on the rules, but anyway. Back to belt dropper. Good idea, because you can actually remove it from your belt without having to actually take the belt off, unthread your belt through all the loops or whatever and all that. So this, if you're not seamless, if you know what a belt dropper is, then obviously you know how they work. But this is how it works. So you've got those poppers there. Now that's what you thread that up through your belt and then just pop them over, and then you're done. And I've added another popper on this. I didn't normally used to use another popper though. I used to use the two, and it worked pretty good. But I've added another popper there, and so that actually pops, and you can take it off. So you remove that, drop the D-ring down, and then you can use that as a standard belt carry sheath. But I think that the dangler, dropper, whatever you want to call it, is a good idea, especially if you're like in and out of the car and stuff like that. It tends to, if on a fixed belt loop, it tends to dig in sometimes, and it ends up digging in sort of spots it shouldn't dig in, and it's not very pleasant. So at least with the dangler dropper on there, you can. It gives that little bit of kind of movement, and so you can just kind of flick it to the side and then keep it out of the way if you're driving. So good idea if you, as I said, in Australia here, you're not allowed to carry them on your actual belt. So if you're out fishing or you're out camping, and or even if you're on a farm or whatever, and you're working on a farm, and then you've got to nip into town, you can just unpop it and take it straight off. You haven't got to unthread your belt. So they are a good idea. They are a good idea. And I don't charge much for those. I think it's like $25 for a dropper. But if you want one, you have to kind of state that when you order a knife, because the D-ring has to go on before you stitch the belt loop. You could cut the D-ring and then open it up and then squash it in a vise back on there, because the brass is pretty strong. But I prefer to actually stitch it on, before you make it. Whatever. Back to the knife. Now, as I said a little bit earlier, Dave saw the big chunk of she oak that I picked up, and he wanted a blade in the she oak handle, so that is what we have built here. Where's me a bit of rag? Oh, that's on my shoulder. There we go. Needs a bit of a final clean up and a buff before I send it out, but you get the idea. So there we go. There's the she oak handle. Not mega shiny. I don't like to go with a real high shine on the handles. It gets a little bit slippery. Whereas if you keep it kind of that satin, got a bit more grip to it, a bit more feel, and I think it looks a lot nicer as well with just the satin finish rather than a real glossy, like almost like it's been varnished, that kind of look. I don't really like that at all. So she oak, mosaic pins, the ones that I make up, just the little star pins, brass lanyard tube, and we have got 1000 grit finish on the flats, so you can see that nice, no grind marks in there. That's how we like it. That side, nice even plunge lines. Polished spine, tang, and right down the blade as well, nice and polished. That's one thing I do. I think I said in another video, I do like to make sure that the spine is uniform, no grind marks in there, or even on the pommel, no grind marks, nice and even. Slight apex to the pommel there. And black G10 liners, on there. Jimping on the spine, And all my bushcraft knives that I build, they all come with they call it like a sharp spine to the knife. So you got like an actual, it's not sharp as in sharp, but it's squared off so as you can use your fire steels on there and all that, and it'll give a good spark. And stainless steel does work with a fire steel. I know there's been a few people asking me, does stainless steel work with a fire steel? And yes, it does. So there we go, Bushwood. This has got a slightly longer blade. Dave wanted 115mm long blade. So the bevel is 13 per side, so 26 total Scandi, finished in an A30 3M Trizac belt. I don't go for like a mirror polish on the bevels. I like the machine look, and that's something that if you buy a knife, if you want to go for that mirror look, then that's something you can add to it yourself if you want to do that. And over time, sharpen it, especially if you end up going on a whetstone sharpening, you will lose all the machine marks and it will eventually form a mirror polish. This has been stropped, so the edges, you can see there, just the edge looks a little bit shinier. It's been stropped on the leather strop and all that. I'll get a bit of paper and we can do the slice test, as we all like to do. All knife makers like to do the slice test. There we go. This paper's a little bit damp, but it still cuts nice. There we go. So that's around about it for Dave's knife. Hope you like it, Dave. And send me your address and I can get that wrapped up safely and get it sent out to you. So I've got to make what's it called, like a braid for it. So that's I still haven't decided whether it's going to be the leather one or the black paracord. I'll work that out. Second knife up is this little one. Now, I hadn't made any of these I think the last one I made was probably over a year ago, or the last batch that I made, and I hadn't actually made any more. But I was asked to make one a little while ago, and I made about 4 or 5 of them, and this is the last one. And I think this one was for Dean. He wanted this little bobtail, and he said he wanted like a light colour wood, not curly birch, but something sort of lightish with a bit of character to it. So I had this, which is stabilised poplar, and it comes from over east. So I think it is it Queensland area possibly, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it comes from over east, but it's got a really, really nice look to it. This light doesn't really do it justice. It's got almost like a marbled look to it, and like a 3D sort of hologrammy sort of look. You might be able to see it. Yeah, but he didn't want a super shiny knife, so he wanted hand left fairly matte. He wanted the spine matte, so it's got that, well, I say it's matte, it's got a satin finish. It's I think I finished it with like a grey 3M Scotch Brite, so it's still a little bit shiny, but it's got that more satin. The blade flats, I think I went to 400 with those, and brass Loveless bolts, 6.5 mil brass Loveless bolts, so brass nut, brass pin, brass nut, brass bolt in the middle. Slightly thinner stock, this one. It's what was it now? Let me just have a quick measure up. It was 2.5 mil AEBL. And Dave's one was AEBL as well. If I didn't say that, I can't remember whether I said that or not. But yeah, Dave's one was AEBL as well, 3.2 millimeters, and this one is AEBL as well. So cool little knife. These are really good actually if you're into fishing and even hunting as well, because you can get your finger right to the tip there. I know a lot of people don't really want to talk about sort of when if you've shot something or whatever, you have to dress the carcass, as they say, and game prep. But it does happen, and over here you get a lot of kangaroos, and if they don't control the numbers, then they will just go out of control and be overrun with kangaroos and stuff like that. So it's just a fact of life that it does actually happen, and you need a tool for the job. These are really good little skinning knives, because you say you can get your finger right to the tip, and you've still got a lot of control over there. And but bait prep, even food prep, like a little paring knife. I mean, what is that, paring, or is it paring? I don't know. Little kitchen knives. But anyway, they're good for that. Overall, good little knife, nice and light. And haven't done the leather work for this yet. That's still to be done. So once that's done, that will go out to Dean. I think it was Dean. And final one is, where's my cloth? What have I done? They ran out of my pocket this time. Final one is this Dingo. Again, 3.2 AEBL. There we go. There's little Dingo. These are more in the style of bird and trout style knife, a little bit thinner blade, slightly thinner handle profile, not as chunky, a little bit more of a lightweight knife, but again, all rounder, bushcrafting, fishing, hunting, you name it. These are fantastic for that. So what did I go up to? I think I went up to 1,000 grit on the flats, so you can get that in the light and you can see. There you go, 1,000. So it's still got that. It's got that shine to it, but it's also a little bit satin looking, which is why I like it. Again, A30 Trizac belt on the bevel, Scandi grind, 13 degrees per side. And again, nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. Funny enough, this is the same wood as Dave's one. This is she oak. Would you believe it? So I'll compare it to Dave's one, colour wise. So that's your she oak, and that's she oak as well. Now, for some reason, that the oven went a little bit higher on when I was cooking when the blocks were stabilised. The oven went a little bit higher than I normally go around 90 to 100 degrees C cooking the blocks in the oven. I've actually got some in there at the moment, cooking away. This one, actually the temperature went up on the oven, and the blocks got a little bit hotter than normal, and it's actually made it go really dark. Nothing wrong with the blocks whatsoever. It didn't damage the wood at all, or it didn't cause any structural problems to the wood. The wood is like perfect. You can hear how hard it is, and it rings like nice. So there's no inclusions or nothing wrong with it. It's dead solid. But just that little bit extra heat in the toasting oven when I was cooking the blocks after stabilising, it's made it go darker, and I actually really like it. It's a really, really cool colour. I think I've got a few more blocks, a couple of other blocks that were in there at the same time, and so I've still got some more. This actual knife is for sale. I've got to try and put it on my website. I can't actually remember how to do it, so if I can remember how to do it, I'll try and get it onto my website if anyone's interested in this. If not, just send me a message on my website, which is companionknives.com.au, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Or a email on companionknives@hotmail.com if you're interested in this, and I can give you some other specs on it. Now, I haven't made a sheath for it because I normally make a sheath once a knife's been sold. If it's special orders, obviously I'll make the sheaths to go with it because I know what I'm making. On a knife like this, where I haven't actually made it for anybody particular, I don't actually make a sheath until it's actually somebody's given me the deposit for it, and they've requested either a left or a right-handed sheath with a D-ring, without a D-ring, so on. So until I actually got a deposit for it, then I don't actually make the sheath until then. So, but no, all in all, really nice knife, and another one that be sad to say goodbye to. So again, mirror. Can you see that mirror polish on the spine? No grind marks. All the way around. All the way around. All the way around. Right to the tip. We get the tip. Yeah, perfect. Bit of jimping on the spine as well for just a bit of extra. Yeah, it hasn't been cleaned out yet, Brad. If you're thinking that's got dirt in there, yeah, I haven't cleaned it out yet. So, all in all, good little knives. Now, what else have we got? Oh, the other one. I've got another one that's on the go. This one here, this is for Dylan. And he's been waiting a while for this because I got a block of wood. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I ordered a couple of blocks on this, and there you go. You can see that's just the marker pen there where I wrote out on it before I put the liners on. I thought the block was stabilised, so I cut it into two pieces, sanded it flat, prepped all the faces up there, and I didn't use it for a week or so, and then when I come to check it again, I put them together and it had slightly bowed. So obviously it was unstabilised, and which is affected by temperature increase, drop, moisture, that sort of thing. It affects the wood the way it moves, and so I had to re-stabilise it. So it went into the cactus juice for about 3 weeks under vacuum, and then it had probably another 3 or 4 weeks soaking without the vacuum, and finally got it finished, baked off, and got the liners on there now, black G10 liners, and it will have loveless bolts as well. So once that's on there, it will look a really cool knife. These are one of the biggest knives that I make, apart from like if you want like a bush clearing sort of machete type thing. I don't make many of them, but for the hand, like the normal kind of hunting bushcraft style knives, these are the biggest ones I make. So good size knife, bit more of sort of fatter handle. Obviously the blade profile is a lot fatter and got that clip point there, gives it that more hunting style look. Again, a bit jimping on the spine. I'm jimping everything at the moment. I love it. It's so good. It's you know, I think it looks cool, and it's got a good function there. Give that a little bit of extra grip with your thumb. So, I'll be doing that a lot more on all the knives that I make. Again, this one saber grind with a A30 Trizac belt on there. You can see it's a little bit dirty, so it hasn't been cleaned up at all, but you get the idea. Nice smooth bevels there. It's not sharpened yet. That's the last thing I do. Once the handle's been put on, I'll sharpen it up so it's all ready to go. So there we go. Sorry it's taken so long, Dylan, but be worth the wait. So that's around about it for this video. Probably a bit longer than it should be, but it's hard to, I tend to waffle on a bit. I'm still editing part 3 of my Bushwood knife build. It's taken me so long. I had so much footage that I'd taken, and like I think I said before in the last video, I don't like to cut things out too much, otherwise, and like skip certain steps of the knife build, because if you've never built a knife yourself, then you want to know all the little kind of details here and there. You don't want to be chopping from one part to another without covering how you got to that next stage, if you know what I mean. So I don't want to sort of edit too much out. But yeah, I'm still on it, so that will come eventually, and then we can do the giveaway of the actual knife that was built in that 3 or 4 part video. I'm not sure, it might be 4 parts by the time I'm done. So I shall get onto that and get that done. But okay, that's around a bit for this video, I think. I need to get back on with some work, got plenty to do. Yeah, until the next one, stay safe, and wherever you are in the world, if you're coming into autumn now, enjoy it, 'cause it's a great time of year. And if you're over this way, you're coming into spring, then obviously enjoy spring. It is a good time of year. Either way, autumn, spring, fantastic seasons. And just get out there and enjoy it, and take a knife with you. You never know, you might need it. All right, stay safe. Cheers. See you on the next one. Bye.